You're absolutely kidding me. GOP governor, Republican governor of Indiana, is trying to walk back interracial marriage.
All right, so I finally figured out why white people be getting so mad and saying stuff like, "You're trying to turn us into the minority." Well, that's because in the first time in forever, the white population has taken a massive decline while the non-white population has increased significantly. Just to clarify that a little more, in the 1970s, America was 90% white. In the 2010s, 72.4% white. That's a massive decline. But that was over 40 years. In 2020, the drop went down by about 10%, which is insane. And it's not because the overall population is increasing. They just lost white people. Now, the reason for this decrease isn't because of minorities. It is because of y'all. So a lot of white people like today are super old and like super rich. So you guys are losing a lot of them. But white women compared to their counterparts have very low fertility rates. So the birth rate is also declining. There's a theory that says this is why a lot of white politicians want to stop abortion, because they want their birth rate to go up. But I guess I shouldn't say all, because 60% of white people say that they're okay with this change. But I feel like that number should be 100%, right? Because what's wrong with being a minority? They don't get treated badly, right? It's all good. And if you think about it, 60% ain't that high when it comes to a question like this. And if you think about it, y'all are all racist because y'all are basically calling all minorities one whole minority. You know what I mean? You're never gonna technically be the minority. You're just combining every single race and just calling us all the minority. Man, y'all suck.
So you would be okay with the Supreme Court leaving the question of interracial marriage to the states?
Yes, I think.
Dickhead, what the fuck? For the 1,000th time, the end game is racism. The end game is segregation. A GOP governor just said that we should fucking leave interracial marriage up to the states. That this is that equal opportunity by race should not be something that is protected federally. This is what they want. They want for certain states where people have no rights and certain states where people have some rights. They do not care. They do not care about your livelihood or your equality. They hate everything that has to do with them mingling with those they deem as lesser. They want things like slavery brought back to the states. They want things like segregation brought back to the states. They seek to undo every single thing that any civil rights movement has ever done and bring it completely back to the states. What they want in the end game is for us to be as divided as possible, because at that point, they'll be able to fully control us. We are in danger. We are in full-on fascism.
In summer, but it is getting hot. Hello guys, and welcome back. How are you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate y'all. Let's jump right into this one. I bet y'all doing good. Yes, what we say, it is getting hot and summer is far gone. This is what we are talking about. Y'all can see it. That last creator, she was passionate about it. Credit to the creators for giving us this opportunity to have our comment. Go down there in the comment section and add your comment. It is getting hot and it is getting crazy. Now, as you've heard, the Republicans, now they're about to come for the interracial marriages and relationship. Why? Because according to the statistics that you saw, one of the creator right there that he quoted, right? That's a problem. That is the problem, and people are not having it. They took it to social media and they are hiding their comment. I am gonna be rolling your clips. Go down there in the comment section, add your thought. How do you feel about this? Let's roll the tabs and we're gonna add more commentary.
Okay, before I get into this, so I'm speaking from the perspective as a white man in an interracial marriage. And this is for other white people, so y'all aren't fucking surprised when this happens. When they come for interracial marriage, I'm telling you, there's going to be a whole lot of fucking white people that walk away from their partners and from their kids. There's going to be so many white people right now that are like, oh my God, no way, that would never happen. You're just fear-mongering, or you're just this and that. No, listen, I've made a video about interracial marriage before, and the amount of comments that I've gotten from people about their white partners who are completely not in touch with politics or not political are a lot. You will see white partners in these marriages choose white supremacy over their own partners and children. I promise you. Because mind you, these white people have partners and children that look like the people that are being snatched by ICE. They're watching Trump on down talk about their partners being DEI hires at work. Doesn't move them. They don't give a fuck. These same partners, white partners, tokenize their spouse at every turn. So I can't be racist. I have a black, indigenous spouse of color. Y'all see it on here all the time. But when the pressure hits and it's building, white people fucking fold to white supremacy all the goddamn time. That's what's happening right now on a national scale. And we're seeing it. We got concentration camps in America. We got the National Guard in LA and DC. We got ICE snatching up kids, families, deporting them. Doesn't matter if they're fucking citizens or not. And white people aren't moved to do shit. So you think when they come down and they try to attack interracial marriage, it's going to move white people? Absolutely the fuck not. JD Vance, I wouldn't be surprised if he set the standard and said, I'm leaving my wife for X, Y, and Z reason. He'll make some bullshit up. And other white Americans will be like, oh yeah, he did it? All right, yep, then it's safe for me to walk away. When you as a white person can be in an interracial marriage and you see the way the entire country is treating people that look just like your children or your partner, and you just say, I'm not political, or we don't talk about that in my house, you're fucking going to when the government comes for your shit. Well, you're probably not, because you're going to be too scared to say anything or do anything, because you're just going to be scared about violence from other white people for being in an interracial marriage. White people as a whole value white supremacy more than anything in their fucking life. 3 out of 5 white men voted for Trump. 1 out of 2 white women voted for Trump. And everything that's happening right now is what they want. And other white people that don't have a fucking spine, or other white people that don't view their partners as human beings, that don't see their children, their biracial children, as human beings, they'll walk the fuck away. I'm calling it right now.
So, the governor of Indiana, Mike Bond, believes that interracial dating should be left up to the states to determine, like Roe versus Wade. Boy, who are you to think that you can determine who somebody else gonna fall in love with? Who are you to think that you have the right to determine who somebody else dates? Like, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, these old white men who are desiring to be in charge and to rule everybody, they're going too far. Okay, listen, people gonna love who they gonna love, they're gonna be with who they're gonna be with. There's no decision of anybody else's that can control that. Like, what year y'all think this is really? Like, if y'all don't see the reset that they're trying to do, it's crazy. Because boy, what? There's so many other things that you could be focused on. You worry about who somebody else getting to bed with? Interracial dating should be left up to the states. Well, nobody's listening to that. I hate to tell you. No, not one person is going to go with that. People are going to be with who they're going to be with. And to be so concerned about who somebody else lays down with, loves, marries, or anything, seriously creepy, dude. Why don't y'all focus on retiring or something? Because y'all old and aggravated and tired and miserable, and y'all want to make everybody else that. Get over it, okay? Life is life, love is love, color is color. People gonna do what the heck they want to do. You not only want to control when someone can have a baby or should or what they could do with their body, now you really want to control people's hearts as well. Boy, go sit down. We're tired. Oh, pay attention to who y'all voting for. I keep saying this. These folks are zigged out for real. Immature, and they really have low IQ because everything they do it has something to do with race or their hatred for people. And it's like, they should not, again, They should not be running a country, a state, a city, a freaking group, let alone their household. Really? Just look at the stuff they're doing. That makes no sense. That doesn't help anything with finances or our well-beings at all. Nothing. You're focused on things that don't freaking matter. Mike Bond, go to bed. He's tired, but get him in the home. He needs some time to just relax and play bingo or something. Okay.
We're all talking about politics, and it comes up, we're talking about interracial relationships and marriage. And I said, well, I'm not in favor of interracial marriages. That's against my values. I want to have a white wife. I want to have white kids. That's important to me. Now, there was a girl who was in the group. Her name was Emily Faulkner. Now she's like a big pro-life activist. She's married. But at that time, she was in this little group. She pulls out her phone and she starts secretly recording me. She doesn't say anything, but she pulls out her phone, hits record, and she says, so wait a second. She goes, you're saying that if I have sex with a black person, that's the same as having sex with a dog? I said, no, I'm not saying that. I said, but I think race mixing's immoral. I said, I think they'd both be immoral. She takes that clip, along with clips of other things I said. She sends it to Cassie Dillon, because she knew and apparently was friends with Cassie, unbeknownst to me. Cassie Dillon sends it to a group called Reagan Battalion, and they post that all over Twitter. And it blows up on Twitter, and now I am like officially being canceled because of this secret recording taken at this Leadership Institute job
live?
training.
Is the video public to see?
The senator of Indiana, Senator Mike Braun, just said that interracial marriage should be a decision that's taken over by the states. Remember what happened when they did that with abortion and now it's illegal in a bunch of states? That's what they're going to try to do. And after interracial marriage, not even after, maybe at the same time, they will be coming for gay marriage next. When y'all voted this Trump wannabe into office, I knew some dumb shit was about to happen. He's already cut Medicaid, been super pro-Israel, given them a bunch of money, supported a bunch of huge corporations, and given them no tax cuts. This is the list of everyone who's gotten bribes from AIPAC. And, oh, there's, he is. And you sold out to Israel for $75,000. Good to know. A lot of other people sold out for more, but yeah, if you go to Open Secrets, you can see all the people who were given money by AIPAC. Top Democrats who love Israel, of course, at the top. Chuck Schumer, yup, makes sense. Now, what do we do? One, direct action is the only thing that politicians actually care about. Blocking them, protesting, going into their way to make things harder for them. And that's when they actually start listening. In 2020, when they did all the protests for the police, it was only when protests turned violent and when senators actually started to be intimidated by the level of people who were coming out, by the number of people who were coming out. And that's when they actually had started defunding the police. Now, did those things stay in place? And have they defunded the police at all? Since then, no. We have actually funded the police even more. These are genuinely scary times, but invest in your communities, disrupt politicians, get in their way, make them uncomfortable, call them, vote in local elections. I'll be posting more about that. And yeah, get married interracially as soon as possible, because that may be going away from a product of interracial marriage. Hopefully it doesn't, but
Credit to the creators for giving us this opportunity to add our comment. Go down there in the comment section if you can. Add your comment. Let's make this educational and fun. Are we gonna say the government now wanna do a matchmaking? Now the government wanna tell the people whom they are gonna fall in love with, whom they are gonna love, whom they are gonna be in a relationship with. Now are we gonna say the government now wanna be doing a matchmaking? Like they wanna match the people together? No, you cannot settle down with that one. You can only settle down with this one. Isn't that crazy? That is gonna be crazy. And it's gonna be scary. You know, for a governor, a Republican by the way, started this conversation and for the internet to have something to say about it, that means they are telling the government, hold up. No, not this one. You can take control of mostly of everything, but not this one. We are talking about woman you're gonna fall in love with, whom you're gonna say I do to, whom you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, whom you're gonna have a family with, and the government wanna get involved. Then you cannot settle down with these kind of people. You can only settle down with these kind of people. I don't know I don't know what's going on. How do you guys see this? How do you guys see this? Go down there in the comment section and had your comment. Do y'all think the GOP, the Republicans, and they like pushing what they're supposed to be pushing? You know what I mean? Because we got a lot of Republicans, that would not be okay with this one. They're not gonna be okay with this one. But one of the creators said something that actually, you know what I mean? That you're gonna like wanna think about it. That now that they are talking about it, if GOP, the Republicans, if they push this harder, we are gonna see some partners leaving their partners. You know, like daddy leaving the wife and leaving the children. I pray we're not gonna get to that. I just pray we're not gonna get to that. What do you guys think? Let's go down there in the comment section and let make this fun, educational. You know what I mean? I think the more people talk about it, the more the GOP gonna know. Like, you better think this deep because this gonna affect a lot of Republicans. And trust me, when we are talking about love, they are not gonna take it. The whole country not gonna take this because we are talking about personal feelings. We are talking about whom you are gonna love, whom you gonna settle down with. Now what? They're gonna say, okay, government, you got the right for this and that and that. But this one, who I'm gonna settle down with, I do not think both Republicans, Democrat, or Independents gonna take this. But what do you guys think? This is what's going on. Had your commentary. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you to all my return subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Right here, this is the best place to get your daily gist. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.